David!
Hello!
I'm Sarah.
And I'm David, and we're here to talk about Big Brother.
It is coming down to the wire. This is an accelerated week that we'll get into towards the end of this video. We'll catch you up first, but shoot, we're just like about to just have a finale.
Yeah, it's the final five, and before we know it, it's going to be over.
And it's been a whirlwind.
Oh my god. We set you up last week that Corey won the power of veto, he kept the nominations the same, and Natalie was the target for eviction.
They were splitting up Jadily.
Yes.
That was the main goal, and we saw some wonderful fights between Natalie and James.
Yeah.
We're all now questioning Natalie's true intentions.
I absolutely am. I really had faith in her for a while, and
now
I
thought they were the next Jeff and Jordan. I really did. I fell for it completely, you guys.
But she said some really pretty nasty things to him, especially the one that really got me that they aired was when she told him, if you turn around and work with Nicole and Corey after I leave this house, I will never speak to you again. And I just thought that's so terrible because it's a game. Like, you're going home in a game, and then once you leave, James should be able to do whatever he needs to do to win. You know what I mean? Like, don't limit him.
She temporarily forgot that this was a game. Like, she was taking all of this very personally and very upset with everyone. A lot of that blame went on James, but she was just upset with everybody. She's never really trusted Nicole and Corey. You know, and now all of her suspicions are real, blah, 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 blah. Horrible. Showmances, never a good idea, you guys.
And even James said, why did I get in a showmance?
Because you're a hopeless romantic, James. There's no way he would do it any other way.
It's just who he is. Yes.
Towards the end of the week and eviction night, everyone sort of starts to realize, well, James is a free agent, which is always what happens. Maybe we can bring James in. What can we do if we had James as a number? Natalie says bye-bye. We have the slippery slope type HOH competition. This year it was butter. And Corey wins. Because now Corey's on a roll, you guys.
All of a sudden, Corey can decide to beast a competition and he actually wins it. What?
I have a really hard time thinking that he was throwing comps in the beginning.
Me too.
I just can't give him that much credit.
I know, but now all of a sudden, he's just awoken and he's playing the game. He's winning comps, he's making big moves. Like, I just can't. I didn't even know that he was a game player like this.
That's my biggest problem with him, is that I didn't think he was playing the game at all. So maybe he just now woke up. Or maybe this has been his plan the whole time.
Right. Or maybe he finally learned how to play Big Brother.
Right.
And here he is playing it.
I don't know what it is. But here we are. He's HOH and he's like, Nicole, I'm ready to play Big Brother. Make some moves.
So Nicole's like, what's the plan? He's like, you know the plan. We're getting Paul or Victor out. Both of them up on the block. And she's like, oh, I'm nervous.
Well, I don't know that she was really nervous. I think she was on to that from the get-go. I think that they both knew they had to split up duos.
They have to.
They first got rid of James and Natalie as a duo, and now they have to get rid of Paul and Victor, which I agree 100%.
Of course, game-wise.
That was my problem with the Final Four in the beginning. That you wouldn't take two duos to Final Four. That just doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
So, okay, glad we're all on the same page.
They wake up, they realize they have to put Paul and Victor up, and as Sarah was saying, they're working on James to get him in their camp. Meanwhile, Paul and Victor are also working on James, but we sort of think they were working on James more in case James was head of household. Not to turn on Nicole and Corey.
They were loyal to that Final Four. They legit thought that they were all four best buds. They put Paul and Victor up, completely blindside them that they were going to be on the block. They thought one of them would be a pawn to get James out. And they were legit shocked.
Nicole and Corey were strategizing in the HOH room and deciding, you know, that they were going to put Paul and Victor up, and then they just wanted James to come up at of his own volition.
Oh my gosh, that was really
funny.
Like
staring at the cameras in the HOH room like, please James, come up, come up. Then he finally comes up and they sort of clue him into the plan, right? And then Paul goes up also. It's a weird conversation because he's like, you know, obviously James is a target. And Corey's like, yeah.
You guys, if you're in the house and you have an alliance and you go, what's the plan? And they don't immediately go, all right, so we're getting James out, but I think, who should be the pawn? If that doesn't come out, there is a problem.
There's a problem. There's other conversations happening without you.
Yeah. And I think Paul's smart enough. He had an inkling.
I think so too. More so than Victor, at least.
Oh no, Victor's 100%. We're Final Four. We're best friends forever. We're going to be bridesmaids at everyone's
wedding.
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Here we start spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, so they're on the block and Nicole wins the power of veto. So
these two, they keep winning competitions.
She knew, being the veteran that she is, she knew what comp it was going to be, and she was studying for it, and she won it.
Which is a little bit like, you know, some people are upset that they're repeating competitions that these vets have already played. It gives them an unfair advantage.
Yeah, but it's the same thing when you have a super fan in the house. Like,
sure.
They, you know, Michelle knew every competition coming up this season.
Yeah,
like, that's
true.
always how it is.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to repeat some competitions.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
So the point is, Nicole wins power of veto.
Yes.
And she keeps the nominations the same.
Of course.
And Victor is their target.
Victor is their target, which does make sense because he's obviously a comp beast. This is his one chance to maybe get him out.
Yeah, right.
Plus,
for good.
If you take Victor to final two, or if Victor wins his way to final two, he's winning the game.
He's winning.
Jurors
because he's invincible.
vote him hands down.
Yeah.
Because of just his record,
He's
right?
come back to the game twice after being evicted twice, and he just keeps winning comps. Like, he's won over 10 competitions, I think.
Now, America loves Paul and Victor, and I know that this is sad that Paul and Victor are going to be broken up, and that Victor is being evicted for the third time, but you got to recognize that this is a very good game move, and that Victor he's
a great player.
History.
He'll go down in Big Brother history. Yeah, absolutely. Once Victor gets out, because that's what's going to happen, I don't really see why the plan would change, but who knows?
Well, it's probably not going to change because we have less time. So usually they now have 3 to 4 days where people could make deals and play mind games and like hope to change some things.
Mix it up.
But this is an accelerated week and the house guests are not 100% clued in on this. Tuesday night, we are going to see an eviction. Probably Victor's.
Right.
And then Wednesday night, we're going to see another eviction.
A fast forward week.
Actually, on Monday, the house guests will be getting the news that we are now going into the eviction. So it will be a pre-taped for Tuesday's episode. But so on Monday, they will evict, more than likely Victor, and then they will play the next HOH, and they will have new noms, which we have been debating how this is going to go down.
I mean, I think for Nicole and Corey to stay safe, Nicole has to win HOH.
Yep.
If either James or Paul wins, Nicole and Corey are going up on the block because, like Sarah was saying, you have to separate duos at this point. Like, everybody needs to be playing the game. I don't think that James thinks it,
though. I disagree with you, though.
Yes. I mean, I think James should do that, but Sarah makes a great point. We don't think James will do
I don't think James has yet to do anything he was really supposed to do, at least lately. Even though the wise thing to do is now break up the next duo, I don't know that James has the guts to do it. This is where it gets tricky because we're then at Final Four. In Final Four, there's only one vote that counts.
Right.
So even though a head of household puts 2 people up on the block, whoever wins veto is in control of the vote.
Yes.
Let's say James happens to win HOH and he puts up Nicole and Corey by some shocking whatever. He does that.
Moment of clarity.
Right. Whichever one of them wins veto, pulls themselves off, and
votes
is
Paul
solely voting Paul, who's now the replacement nominee. It's really tricky and it's hard to get people out at Final Four. So who knows?
Who knows?
Now, Paul is going to have revenge on his mind.
Of course.
So he's going to put Nicole and Corey up together, I would think.
Yeah. And there have been conversations between Victor and Paul and James that Nicole and Corey obviously are bringing each other to Final Two. So I really just hope that sinks in with James and he realizes, like, I've got to break them up if I have any hope of reaching Final Two with whoever.
But and unfortunately, because I do like James, but I kind of feel like he's in a Victoria position right now where he's just playing to be brought to Final Two.
Yeah.
I think that's what his mentality is, of like, I'm just going to be loyal to Corey and Nicole and hope that one of them brings me to Final Two if the other one gets voted out somehow. Because if Corey does go, Nicole will bring James.
Yeah.
And if Nicole goes, Corey will probably bring James.
Yeah.
Like, that's more than likely going to happen. And actually now, if Paul wins, he'll probably bring James because he probably just ticked off at Nicole and Corey. I mean, I don't know. They change every few days.
Yeah, right.
Who they're wanting to get revenge against.
Yeah, but I think at this point, the 2 biggest threats to win the game are Nicole and Paul. I think they have played. Surprisingly, I'm saying Nicole. Like, I can't believe that she all of a sudden is like playing this amazing game and running the house.
She is, though.
Because she just seemed to lay in bed with Corey for 8 weeks straight and do nothing.
Right.
I think those two have played the best game, you know, socially and winning comps when they need to and all that kind of stuff. Paul and Nicole.
Yeah, I agree. But if Corey ends up in final 2, he now has a couple things he can say.
True.
They all could legit have a little bit
of a case to make.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, what is gonna happen?
I can't believe
literally in a couple days, we're gonna be down to a final 3, and I have no idea who's gonna be this final 3.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, like, we can run through scenarios for days.
Mm-hmm.
But what?
But we'll see.
What do you guys think?
And who are you rooting for?
Right. We'll see you guys next week after final 3.
And remember to click subscribe.
Bye.